One of the highlights, at least of my week, was listening to a guy. He's a former member of the Pennsbury, Pennsylvania School Board. He spoke up about the draconian moves that the school board up in Pennsbury was taking to silence free speech. I want you to listen to a part of this, and then I'm going to introduce you to Simon.
Now, you snowflakes apparently have a bigger problem with public comment. It seems to me that you think you can supersede the United States Constitution. Well, I've got news for you, School Board President Benito Mussolini. Your power does not supersede that of the U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment rights of the citizens of this great nation. Let's be very, very clear who has the power.
Mr.
It is
Campbell,
not government policy. Do not warn me or do not interrupt my time.
That if you
interrupt my time,
personal insults like that again,
This is my comment, not your comment. I'm quoting to you now from the United States Supreme Court 1964 case, New York Times versus Sullivan. This is constitutional case law in this country, and I'm quoting you from the U.S. Supreme Court. The judges wrote that this nation is founded on the, quote, profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues shall be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials. That's constitutional case law in this nation. I don't have to be nice to you. Nobody behind me has to be nice to you. If you don't like living in the United States of America, then you can all move to Russia, Cuba, or China. This is the First Amendment.
Now, this guy is incredible.
I will caution you, solicitor. There is a video camera to my left. If you edit this tape, then you're going to have a big legal problem on your hands, because my right to critique your fascism, which is what this is constitutionally protected. There are emails, public record emails, in which the Director of Equity is lobbying and advocating for public comment to be censored in this school district. And you know what?
Okay, stop. This, I understand, and I'm going to bring Simon Campbell in. Hello, Simon. How are you?
Good morning, Glenn. Thanks for having me on. I want you to know that I'm very calm today. I've had my cup of tea, so I should be good.
You were fantastic, but tell me if this is true. I have heard that was spur of the moment. You didn't have any planned remarks. This happened because you talked to a mom in the hallway before the meeting started. Is that true?
That's absolutely correct. You can tell I was not reading off of the script. I'm known locally as a little bit of an activist, a loudmouth, but I was talking to this everyday mom in the entranceway of the school board meeting. She had wanted to speak at the earlier meeting in May, but she had witnessed the thuggery that had taken place at that meeting. And we're trying to get the tape of that meeting, because apparently it's even worse than what happened with me, where the school solicitor, who's supposed to be the taxpayer-funded counsel, is the one doing the dirty work of these radical fascists. When I say dirty work, shouting people down, saying you can't speak, and then editing and cutting the tape of the school district's meeting. So she told me in the entranceway she was too intimidated to speak at the meeting the month before. And she's an ordinary everyday mom, too intimidated in this country to express your views to the government. And I said to myself, right, they've got it coming. And that's kind of what happened.
Holy cow. And this doesn't sound like a Brooklyn accent. And knowing that I think that your favorite politician was Margaret Thatcher, you're from the UK. How long have you been here? And do you realize you probably know more about freedom than the average American?
Well, I've been here since 2004, and I was naturalized in January 2009. And I always make the point, that day when I was naturalized, there was about 60 of us in Philadelphia from over 30 countries, many of whom had tears in their eyes. Their family members and friends were there. And you really get a sense in that room of what it means to be an American. And so I always think about that moment when I'm mouthing off like I did at the school board meeting, that here you have people who have escaped from, knows what kind of countries. They're finally free. So, you know, for me, I was born and raised in the UK. My favorite politician of all time is Margaret Thatcher. As my parents would say, you can't say her name without raising the glass, you know, raise the glass. But,
right.
yeah, I mean, I was on that school board, and, you know, I got hammered because I wasn't the biggest fan of the teachers union. And I just took it in stride because that's what you do in America. You're a public official. You know, they called me the bastard child of Margaret Thatcher. I thought it was the greatest compliment ever. So, you know, these snowflakes, they don't like it.
So, tell me your stance on what is happening there beyond the why are they trying to hide things from the public? Why are they trying to silence? What is going on in your community?
Well, there's a local activist group of parents, I guess, that are upset around what's become known as critical race theory, or these books and this curriculum. And the school district has promoted someone to this position they call Director of Equity, Diversity, and Education. I think that's a ridiculous job title. I don't know what these job titles mean, you know. But anyway, they were all upset about the proposed book. Well, it just sounds like a load of bollocks to me. And by the way, that's not a rude word because it comes from my favorite album. But they were all upset about this, and I came along, and they were telling me about how they were being shouted down in the May meeting, the one that we haven't got the tape for. Apparently, the school solicitor was saying things like, "You're not allowed to say critical race theory." Now we're trying to get the videotape of this, so this thuggery is going on. And I show up at this sort of parents' house ahead of the school board meeting, and I said, okay, well, what you'll need to do, and we're kind of going over the tactics, speak at public comment. They're not allowed to shut you up. They can't silence you. This is America. You know, sort of like trying to help out with how to deal with these people. So I don't know why they are cutting the tape. So if you go to Pennsbury School District's website for the May meeting and the March meeting, they've literally cut out speakers who spoke at public comment on this issue. Cut them off the tape. I'm just like, I have got images in my head of 1930s Germany burning books, banning speech. And for me personally, before I even get into the critical race theory debate, we've got fascists in my local community head thinking, you know, and so I just got all riled up on the First Amendment side of it. But clearly they don't want a discussion on this, otherwise they wouldn't be cutting the tape.
Some people would hear you call somebody fascist, and they'll say, okay, that's over dramatic. Why are you using that word?
Well, because they are. We have emails, I put them on my YouTube channel. The Director of Equity, this is the lady that crafted a press release behind the scenes. We got all the information behind the Right to Know law inside the government, where a citizen had spoken in March, very soft-spoken citizen, not a loudmouth Brit like me, just against the policy agenda, right? And this Director of Equity, the tolerance lady, goes to the school board president and the superintendent and says, that guy's a racist. The way that he spoke at public comment in March was like racist dog whistling. Here's how we need to shut him down and others like him. And I think it would be good if the school board president put out a public statement. So the public statement from the school board president going out to the whole community, basically accusing this guy of being a racist when he isn't. I've met him. He's a lovely, nice bloke. And I'm sitting watching this going on. How can you have a society, a freedom, a place called America, where the government is itself issuing press statements that literally say, if you come down and speak against us, we're going to shame you, we're going to name you, we're going to call you a racist, we're going to put out public press statements, and we're going to cut you from the videotape. Now, if that's not fascism, Glenn, you tell me what is fascism.
Simon, why did you come to America? And what's going through your mind as you're watching your new country now go down this path?
Well, I came to America because my wife's from Brooklyn and we met in England, and so she brought back a permanent souvenir. So when I came, well, I just go back to the naturalization ceremony. That's where you get a sense of what America's about. That's where you get, because they give you this book, at the ceremony, and it said something. I always remember this one quote. This is former presidents of America, and they give you these quotes, these inspirational quotes. And the one from Reagan stood out to me the most. He said something like, "You can move to France, but you'll never become a Frenchman. You can move to Italy, but you'll never become an Italian." He said that anyone from any corner of the world can move to America and become an American. And I think that quote sums it up for me, because America is about a set of ideals. It's not about who you are, what you look like, what your immigrant background is, what your skin color is. It's about an idea, and the idea is freedom. And so when I see the most repugnant attack on freedom in my local community, and I can tell you, this has riled everybody up in my community. Well, I guess it's gone viral now. I mean, quite frankly, my head's spinning with this whole thing. I've got 100 people on my YouTube channel. I put this up there, and my daughter's like, "Dad, you're at 1.2 million on TikTok." I'm like, what?
Wow. Well, I think people are thirsty for it. Real quick, can you speak directly to the parent or to the American that is still perhaps on the sideline, wants to stand up, but they just don't want to? They don't want to face this. They don't want to be a part of it. They're afraid their kid will be singled out or whatever. Talk to that person for a second.
Yeah. The thing I would say is take 10, 20, 30 of your friends with you and do not back down, and videotape them. Most public school boards are required to be open to the public. And in Pennsylvania, I'm sure in other states, you can video record these people. And when you actually show them what they're doing, silencing microphones, telling people you're racist, when ordinary Americans see the government behaving that way, that's when it's no longer a conservative liberal issue. That's when it's, are you American or not? And I think that ordinary citizens, take your cell phones down, go hunt in packs, if you will. Take 10, 20, 30 people there. We probably had 100 parents at that school board meeting, most of whom had never been to one before. And I think there's just power in numbers, because no matter what one's position is on a policy, when the government is silencing people, intimidating them, that's when the radical left lose mainstream America.
Simon, thank you so much.